Yo, Gazimus here with another Grand Archive deck guide. This time I'm pairing Zander with Wind in what I call Double Strike Zander. It uses one card to attack twice with the champion per turn, has ample board disruption, and rewards board setup with huge payoffs. Here's a copy of the deck list, there'll be a link to it in the description below. As always, I'm not going to go into each card and just provide certain packages and playstyles. Also, if you like this content, please consider subscribing for more videos in the future. Let's begin. The card this deck was built around was Poise Strike, which reads, Prepare 1. Remove a preparation counter from your champion as you activate this card. Then if it was prepared, it wakes up your champion, allowing it to strike multiple times in a turn. Now, to get the max benefit out of this card, you need to pair it with two Regalia items, one being the Poison Dagger, the other Assassin's Ripper. The first allows you to deal 1 damage to a unit, but then whenever that unit is dealt damage, it takes that much plus 1. While the Ripper allows you to remove a prep counter and give it +2 attack, making it a free strength weapon. Also note, it is usually always preferred to grab the Poison Dagger from TRIPPLE first, as it comes onto the field rested. Okay, we've done the setup, now what attacks do we play after Poise Strike? Well, luckily we are blessed with a solid amount of 2-cost attacks that can cover a wide range of different scenarios. Most of the time you're going to attack twice, but with the right setup you can actually attack 3 times in a turn. Noting this requires 9 cards in hand and 3 preparation counters on your champion. You begin with activating the dagger and dealing 1 damage, then prepare the Ripper and attack with Poise Strike prepared for 7 damage. 1 off the dagger, 3 off the strike, 3 off the Ripper. You then attack with another Poise Strike prepared for 7 and then any other attack. This time I use Combo Strike, which is doing 4 damage. 3 off the card and 1 off the dagger. Thus this turn you have presented a total of 19 damage. However, in most cases you're only going to attack twice, but with this deck you can still push obscene amount of damage by using the right card in the right scenario. Okay, so we activate our Regalia and use Poise Strike, but then if we're playing a rested unit we can backstab, which gets +2, or if we have leveled up that turn we can play Invigorated Slash, which gets +2. Thus meaning the second attack we do is coming in for 8. The total damage for that turn is 16, noting this is off a 6-card hand and only 2 prep counters. Sometimes we don't see our Poise Strikes, but that's okay, we can still use our prep counters with Coup de Grace, which has prep 4, giving it critical 4, meaning that if the opponent does not discard 4 cards, by choosing not to, or not having the ability to discard 4 cards, it deals double damage. Pair this with the Ripper and you can represent 14 damage, noting this takes 5 prep counters to work. So how do we get prep counters? Well, we have a few cards that help us, noting we're aiming to try to generate 3 to 5 prep counters per game. There's Black Market Broker, which gives us a prep counter, but also has stealth when we're free, making it pretty sticky while still representing decent damage. Extortion Scheme also provides a prep counter while acting as disruption by banishing an opponent's ally, with the final card being Strategic Planning. Not only does it give us a prep counter, it also allows us to glimpse 2 cards. Also note, level 1 Zander's on enter ability is essentially another Strategic Planning, give us a prep counter and glimpsing 2 cards. There are some cool interactions with this deck that involve Black Market Broker, where we can reclaim him to play him again, or Zephyr him, essentially getting his on enter ability to trigger multiple times. Outside of attacking with Zander, we have a small stealth package, with the one of the lines being playing Smoke Bomb onto the Bushwhack Bandit and then also applying Poison Coating Oil, as it has stealth, then attacking the opponent. Noting as the bandit has crit 1, if they can't discard a card, the damage is doubled. Here it would be 4 damage, doubled to 8. Regarding the sideboard for this deck, it is very matchup dependent. Baubles are for extra draw, Veiling Breeze is for Fire Eye, and Kingdom of Foreman is when you want more stealth units and are aiming to attack with multiple stealth units when you proc the Poison Dagger. Hurricane Sweep is for when you're against an ally based opponent, while Beseech the Winds is there when you're trying to get multiple Regalia out at once. As always, I'll give you some cards to prioritize in certain matchups. Into the Fire Lorraine and Zander, Deflecting Edge is critical, while also maintaining interceptors to mitigate their strong attacks. Into the Wind Lorraine, Arrow Trap is a great way to deal with strong allies like a Gildas or Phalanx Captain, as it allows you to remove a prep counter and destroy the attacking ally. While Clean Cut is a solid card to not only destroy an ally, but maintain card advantage. For the Fire Eyes, it is hard to race them as this deck does require some setup. Therefore you need to prioritize Safeguard Amulet and Veiling Breeze. The final matchup you might come across is Water Lorraine. Into this matchup, having them discard cards from hands is vital, as they tend to play high cost cards on your turn, thus disrupting them with both critical attacks and the Binding Orb is the way to go. Now, some common pitfalls of this deck are not prioritizing prep counters in the early game, losing board control. It's best to keep ally based strategies in check as best as you can. And the final one is losing card advantage by playing disruptions at the wrong time and not maximizing their effect. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that deck guide. If you'd like to discuss decks or play a few games with us, please find us in the Grand Archive Discord, which can be found in the description below. Cheers.